I checked the ship's gauges. It was a daily routine. I think that's the only reason I kept doing it. At least they were illuminated. I made notations in my log under the dim light of the incandescent bulb overhead. Speed, approximately 30 million meters per second in holding. Battery, 45%. Fuel, 35%. Notes. Ship remains poorly constructed. I'd been instructed to keep daily entries in the log. It never made any sense. Nobody in authority would ever see the thing. Just more routine, I guess. I could stop if I felt like it. What were they going to do? Re-arrest me, retry me, reconvict me, and re-imprison me? I was never going to see any of them again. That was the point of the New Home Project. Society would get to put us convicts out of sight and out of mind. Not enough room for the prisons on the planets anymore, not with all the NIMBYs and impossibly high real estate costs. Too expensive to keep sticking us on the prison stations in orbit. So get volunteers to go settle the cosmos. Offer them a pardon if they'll get on a cheaply made personal ship and get fired off to colonize the stars. 1,096 days and you'll reach your programmed destination. Who wouldn't sign up? Who wouldn't agree to get out from behind the bars and the walls and the guards keeping you in check? We didn't refuse. We signed up in droves. They gave us our classes, programmed the autopilots, and sent us on our way. Check your gauges daily. So I did. Ration your food. 3 meals a day and no more. 3 meals a day of soy paste with vitamins mashed in? I hadn't eaten 3 meals a day in months. I checked gauges. I rationed. A few months ago I even named my ship, the King of Babylon. And I watched the ship slowly degrade. Cheap construction. The track lights burned out one by one. The ballasts fried. In time I was reduced to unscrewing the incandescent bulbs from under the wiring cabinets. Relics of the notion that we'd need to service the wiring. I rigged them into the last functional light fixtures. The light supply dwindled down to the last dim, incandescent bulb. I was never ready for the loneliness. They never prepared us for that. Of course they wouldn't. Who would have signed up if they knew? Day in, day out, check your gauges, ration your food, count your 1,096 days, and watch your sanity slowly slip away in the complete and utter loneliness. I wondered if the others had gone mad yet. I wonder if they snapped months ago. I wondered how many had given up. I wondered how many had found a way to open their hatches, electrocute themselves, or simply give up eating the same bland food over and over and over again. They never prepared you to never speak to another person as you count the days. I might have taken the easy route myself. However, I cheated the system a bit. They didn't allow us personal belongings on the ships. Convicts, of course, might have managed to bring tools along and rewire the autopilots. Can't have convicted criminals turning their ships around and landing in the upscale neighborhoods now, can you? But I managed to sneak something aboard all the same. A book I'd stolen from the prison library to keep me entertained on the journey. It was a collection of stories from the ancient author, Borges. I read it daily. It was the only thing that approached company on this journey. So I read. I checked gauges, I rationed my food that turned my stomach, I counted the days and I read. I would finish my book, close it, and sit there in silence for a moment. Then I would begin it again. I couldn't count how many times I'd finished it. I didn't note it in my logbook as I had no inclination to put my transgression into the official record. I read as the track lights burned out. I read as the ballasts fried. I scooted forward to the front of the ship, keeping under what light remained. Now I sat under the last bulb. I sat under the last of my light. The gauge lighting was too dim to illuminate anything but the dials. The last light bulb, the last light, was the last way to illuminate the pages of my last connection to humanity. I was in the middle of a page, one of my favorite old stories. I'd read it countless times on this journey. The bulb sputtered. The filament broke. The last dim working light bulb burned out. I knew this day would come. It was the day that I would be plunged into darkness at long last. I'd played it out in my head so many times in recent months. Would I smash the cockpit window as I'd often considered? Would I weep inconsolably? No. I closed the book calmly. I set it down on the floor and made my way to the cockpit window. Instead of smashing it, I stared out at the cold, empty, unending reaches of space. I resigned myself to my fate, marveled at space before me, and for the first time in months I spoke. My labyrinth, my new prison, has no bars and no walls. 1,096 days was over 4 months ago. They lied to us, and I'm going to die alone.